about what you have to do to become a great writer, or how much you have to practice, or those would be good ones to start with? Yeah.
I'd like to know about your choice of the name Shane. Of course, we old guys, we go, come back, Shane. You probably don't even know the reference, but how did you choose Shane? Shane was a gunfighter in the mythical world.
Oh, I'm saying shame with an M, like the word
Oh,
like
but
I'm ashamed.
I was trying to discern that. That's what I was talking to my friend.
Yeah, sorry.
So then the question becomes the metaphor of the name shame. How does that play out in the book?
Yeah, so in the beginning of the book, you kind of learn that this character is a social outcast in the hierarchy of high school, and is essentially tagged as the shamed. You know, it gets called a litany of names, and that's just kind of where it lands. It's just you're shamed, like you're totally done. So in an attempt to cope with that, Shane takes that on as identity entirely and just starts introducing themselves as Shane.
That is very cool.
Thank you.
About how old is he, and about how long did it take you to write the book?
Shame is in the 18 to 20 range. I really left things about shame very ambiguous. I never reveal gender, ethnicity. I think the most I do is say that shame has like a thin, slender frame, and that's about where I leave it. And maybe hair length after being in a coma, but I think that's pretty much it. As far as length, I started writing it more as like a therapeutic thing for me during a time of depression in college. So it was kind of here and there, dabbling, writing whenever I just felt like I needed to. And then maybe like 3 years after starting that, I had like 80 pages, and I was like, well, this is more than a hobby at this point. This is 80 pages of something. Maybe I should do something with it. So at that point when I sat down, it took me 3 months, but I was writing pretty furiously, like overnight, like I was obsessing. It was like,
Did you say 80? 8 or 80?
80 pages.
80.
Yeah, in 80 pages, I decided maybe I should actually like write a book.
One follow-up question. You revealed that Shane's gender and ethnicity is never revealed. So what kind of message or point were you trying to make by that, or if any? Like, what did you want your readers to take from that?
Yeah, so
kind of character.
Yeah, good question. So the whole concept of it was kind of born of a dream I had after the first night that I wrote. And I had this dream of like a shadow self, and I had identified it as my shadow self. And as the dream progresses, it's actually the shadow self of everyone, and it embodies everyone's guilt and shame. And so when I woke up to write more, I was like, wow, if this character could really do that, if you could identify with a character on any level, because I haven't confined them to this box, that could be really powerful, especially dealing with some of the horrible violence and some of the issues that are in the book. So it kind of turned into a commentary on A, gender doesn't matter, and B, reader experience could be really unique here.
Right.
I have a question for John. Did cats run as a theme throughout the novel, or did we see the two appearances of the cats?
Though cats show up on page 1, and then they keep making appearances throughout. And the little seal point that I mentioned has a kind of a pivotal role ultimately in the story. Alex was a psychology major in college, and he imagines himself to be a cat psychologist. So he watches the cats of the neighborhood, and he's pretty much concluded that cats are sociopaths.
Yes.
I enjoyed, I had the pleasure of reading John's book, and it's a fantastic book. There's a lot of levels to it in terms of society and criminality and greed and drugs and all kinds of things, cinema. Okay. And I too, the character is created so that you don't know whether he's schizophrenic and he's imagines himself, he projects himself into the cats, right? Or is he totally drugged up? Or is he visited by some cat god, or do the cat got his turn? So, John, I'll ask you that question is, as a reader, I start identifying with him, and he's crazy. So I guess I'm crazy, but how do you see that man? You know, how did you form that character in that multiplicity and complex thing?
I thought of this character for a long time, you know. Maybe it first occurred to me when I was just mowing the lawn, and I was thinking, you know, everybody in the neighborhood has to mow the lawn, and what do we really know about these people, you know? And so I thought about that character for quite a while, and then something occurred to me that allowed me to finally write the book, and it had to do with his sense of the way he has to be successful is by exercising complete self-control. And as soon as I thought of that, I knew immediately, of course, that there's no one on the planet who can exercise complete self-control, and we're only fooling ourselves when we think we're in control of something. So it kind of became an exploration of that. I don't know if that makes sense. What I enjoyed most about the character was the voice and what his attitudes do to the language.
Yeah, what I love about your book was this kind of tongue-in-cheek, lighthearted, sardonic humor that doesn't an oxymoron. But it's a fun read, it really is. It's
I was thinking
A lot of
before
satire.
reading, is it, you know, the jokes are all about setup though, and the funnier the joke is, the longer it takes to set up, or the longer the setup has been.
Mm.
So I was thinking, how can I get a laugh here tonight without reading 40 pages or so?
I was wondering about the female character. You know, does she have problems within herself? You know, I mean, obviously she does, but you know, there's like something. I'm guessing maybe we missed or something you need to go over.
She was an RTF major at I forget, UCLA maybe, and really wants to ply her trade as a filmmaker, wants to direct. But all the jobs she can get is on cheesy B movies, indie movies like everybody makes in Austin, sorry. And so she's always working on somebody else's project but can't get to her own project. So that's kind of her motivation to do all this. And he's got the money to be able to empower and the insanity to empower the actual pursuit of his project. And then there's still more to her motivation, but I'm not going to go into.
So how was she filming this?
With many counts.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question for Liv. In your quest to make the character Shane completely ambiguous ethnically and gender-wise, is there anything that you found yourself doing over and over again that was really hard for you to stop? Like, what was the most difficult thing about that?
Setting up
So,
dialogue
right.
where I needed to use a pronoun. I kept doing that. I would write the sentence the way that I would speak. And it was really, I had to rework a lot of dialogue because, especially when it wasn't Shane in the conversation, like it was other characters talking around Shane.
About Shane,
Yeah,
yeah.
then I had to like make sure that I went back and, oh, nope, I gotta rework this whole sentence structure, or I need to change the way the conversation's working because you would need a pronoun here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that begs the question. I mean, that's a very interesting concept that's for a novel, but is that how people speak? It's just, that's one of the issues that I take with it. But it is a really interesting idea, though, that you have to like kind of
Yeah,
change the
and
way you speak.
that's feedback I've gotten, that maybe the dialogue isn't as realistic as it could be.
It's fun though.
Yeah, and I think that's probably valid. I think that is a challenge, and maybe
Yeah.
in some places I rose to the challenge, and maybe
Mhm.
some places I didn't.
So
That's
who
fair.
gave you that feedback? Was it people of that age, younger, older?
It was a blog reviewer, and I want to say that she's in her mid-20s. Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I thought it seemed pretty real.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Happy to hear that feedback. No, I mean, I think he's right, and he's read it twice. But yeah, that's like it was very difficult for me to make it natural.
So if you did all that reworking of dialogue, and you said you wrote a lot of it in those last 3 months, how much revising and rewriting did you have to do? I mean, how many months or years or decades?
Like, I finished the manuscript in 3 months, and then it probably took me 8 months to like edit. And there's still, I'm sure he had the same experience. There's still stuff that I go back and read, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, right.
that could have been better. That could have been better. But if you just keep, like, you'll never publish it.
Sure.
So at some point, I had to let it go.
I'm preparing for a second edition. Edits that I'm putting in there.
For John, how long were you working on that?
I thought about it for a long, long time, and then when, this is kind of how I work, I guess, or how things happen to me more. I have these ideas and they remain kind of vague, and then something will occur to me that makes a lot of things kind of come together and click together. So I wrote this mostly during the summer of 20, what year is this?
16.
Last time I
It was
checked.
actually during 2014, because that's the year I went to Brazil and I had to interrupt it for a few weeks, and that was so tough. I wanted to change my flight because I was within days of finishing the text, I thought. So it took me about 3 months, 4 months to write the book, and then again, it had to, be reworked and revised. And you have to let it lay around for a while too.
Yeah, you gotta take a break at the walk away.
Yeah, and then come back, and you can't even really read it effectively at all until some time period has gone past.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you not being like a English major or something like that, what did you, what courses or classes did you take to kind of hone in on your writing and all that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I, at the risk of like sounding boisterous, like writing has always been very easy for me. I did really well in grade school. I didn't have to take any English in college because I tested out of it. So then I kind of just started getting jobs writing. And so I had more like real world writing for other people kind of thing. So it was less formal, but it was still very practicing my craft, constantly writing, submitting stories. In college you have to write papers all the time, and I would take the time to go through all of that. Now I did take some electives that were, like I took a fiction writing class because it was just fun for me and I enjoyed that. But I didn't take it very seriously. It was more like, oh, fun, free, upper level credit, my junior year kind of thing. And then when I got out of college, I actually got hired to do some blog writing for business,
Oh, wow.
and I still do that. Yeah, this is my side hustle, y'all. I have a day job. I just moonlight as an author, but yeah, my day job, I write constantly. I do website copy, I do marketing copy, I write blog, like I copy edit. I just write all the time.
Do you guys, John, Liv, do you have anything, a new novel in the works, or are you thinking about one, or?
Yeah, this is book 1 of the series, so I'm working on book 2 as of now officially.
I'm working on 2 things that are kind of competing with each other. One is another novel. This one is set in 1961 on the Texas coast, and it involves a lot of stuff. It's set in a hotel on the southern Texas coast. And the other is a screenplay, I think, that right now is called Life Hack. And it's based on the fact that people can hack your life. People can hack your car. They can hack the thermostat in your home. They can hack your smart television, et cetera, et cetera. If you have anything that connects to the internet, it can be hacked. And so somebody's hacking somebody. You guys know what the term gaslighting is?
Yeah.
Based on a movie called Gaslight, where a controlling kind of person will manipulate you and make you doubt yourself. And of course, anything called life hack has to end with somebody being hacked to death,
Yeah.
too, right? So, but anyway.
Good. Well, thank you very much. Any more questions? Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, is it Frank?
Yes, yes.
I want to second Frank on, I liked your dialogue. I found it humorous, and that's always good. It creates some humor. And the other thing, it has a serious intent, I think, because you have the questions of identity seem to be very strong in the book, obviously, and especially the character Shane, who is very fluid in his amorphous in identity. So if the way I heard that from Juicebug was doing that dialogue with that, right? So I heard him, and he wants to know how to fight. He wants to be a street fighter. So I saw him as a kind of wannabe who would throw in a lot of jargon and current
Yes.
slang. And so it worked. All I'm saying is it worked for me. Did a good job.
Thank you, I appreciate
Did you say your character is homeless as well?
that. Yeah.
So identityless, homeless. I would never dream of doing such a thing. What an
It literally
amazing
occurred to me
idea.
in a dream,
Yeah.
so I can't say
I don't
that.
know how I would even attempt to approach an idea like that. That's amazing.
Okay, I have the negative things.
Okay.
Richard and I are old, so if we think that dialogue is realistic, that might not.
I'm okay if old people want to go there, I don't care.
Betsy, Becky, and I thought the same
23
thing.
Skidoo. I was looking for 23
Just-
Skidoo.
I want to clear something up. What I meant was that the dialogue is great and it's fun and it's realistic. What I meant is like when people talk about shame and not use a gender, that's what I meant about it
Yeah.
not being realistic.
Yeah.
Not about the things people say. Just to be sure.
It's too bad English doesn't have a gender neutral
Yeah.
pronoun yet.
So
Right.
so I'm gonna like definitely introduce that because there are some terms being thrown out there.
Oh, yeah, they're
Z,
coming.
me, V, like people are trying to figure it out.
Like even the word they, we know it's plural, but over time it might just become a gender neutral word because language is fluid and it changes. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
the
Thrown
same thing
around
forever.
so much too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we all say it. They,
I think-
they.
I think we need to figure out you plural first.
You don't like y'all?
I like y'all, but then some people say you all or you guys, or, it's a failure of the English language.
Yes.
I think y'all is.
I think y'all's the
Y'all's
best one.
correct.
Quite frankly, that's what I use.
Yeah,
It's
y'all's
gender
perfect.
neutral.
It is.
It's easy, it's
It all
quick,
comes down
it's one
to
syllable.
words.
Yeah, it is. So thank you very much. Well,
Thank you.
now it comes to the part of the evening